inspired the creation of this Windrush under-16 football tournament?
Well, there was a meeting between Neil DeCosta, our senior programmes manager, and Audrey from Blackstory Partnership, who had discussions about doing some collaboration. So today is proof of what we came together and done.
So what does the tournament mean to you personally?
For me personally, it's education for the young people, knowing about Windrush and some of the struggles that the elders went through, and basically paved the way for these youngers here today.
66 passengers, then it stopped off in Bermuda and picked up 168 passengers, and then its final destination was in Tilbury, Essex, on June 21, where it's then allowed a day later on June 22nd for all 1,027 passengers to disembark this ship. So, hands up if yours is spot on or close to that.
So how important do you think it is for the youth to put something like this?
Oh, it's brilliant. One, they get to connect with each other and meet new people, but then they get to learn about history of their own families and other families and stuff like that, and around what's in the community. So I think it's a great opportunity for them to just get out and enjoy themselves, but have some learning in the process of it.
So your second activity, your second sheet. We're going to look at some of the cultural differences that the Windrush generation brought to Britain, okay? So, on your sheet, you have one side that has Britain, which has climate, culture, food and way of life, and the second side is Jamaica, because the majority of the people on the Windrush ship were from Jamaica, so we've used that as a representation. What is the differences in culture? And then we're going to go and discuss a little bit about what the Windrush generation has brought to Britain and how it thrives in this everyday life that we see here now. What is it that we take for normal now that from the Windrush generation has given us, okay? So, in your groups, have a conversation. What are the differences between the two cultures? Write that down as quick as you can. You've got about 4 or 5 minutes to do that.
I'm Paulette Francis Green. I'm part of Blackstory Partnership CIC.
Good. So what inspired the creation of the Windrush under-16 football tournament?
Well, what's inspired it is actually connections, and we wanted to do something in partnership, because what we do a lot of community work, and we just felt that, yes, having conversation with someone, and this has just built from that, because we know that we need to let more young people know about the Windrush generation, because they are the future.
Thank you very, very much. There's a hell of a lot. My name's Paulette. I'm from Blackstory Partnership, and we're here with the Aston Villa Football Foundation to deliver this wonderful football tournament. I wish my son was here; he'll be going crazy. So, well done. Thank you all for being here. Well, what I wanted to say to you, yes, the Windrush generation. Yes, they came on the boat Windrush in 1948, but what I wanted to say to you, that we have been in the UK, in Birmingham, since, and I've got my David Adazago book here, and we had a Roman emperor called Severus that was here 27 BC, that's before Christ.
So they do need to have more awareness and understanding of where their parents are from, their grandparents, because sometimes this will give them the opportunity to go home and have a conversation with their grandfather, grandmother about what was it like when you came over after the Windrush landed in June 1948, because there was other ships after that date, but it's good to encourage them to hear more stories about the Windrush generation and our presence in Birmingham.
Do your research, there is a presence. Yes, the Windrush, my parents came here in 1958, okay? I am a Windrush generation, but we've had a presence in the UK. In the First World War, bear in mind, those that went to war in 1914, there was about 1 million Asian, West African, Caribbean soldiers that died. So there is a presence in the UK. So there's a lot more to find out. We're not just talking about 77 years, we're talking about 1,000 years that we've been here. Do some research. David Alexander's book, spot on.
Now, tell me, I know we've had various meetings in the past, but what inspired you to think about bringing this idea about a Windrush tournament to us, the partners?
Well, I think just based on the whole history of the Windrush generation, black footballers or black individuals as footballers, giving them the opportunity to actually compete in football or be part of the whole football scene. It's all part of the Windrush generation, so everything just fits in.
When we're talking about athletics, when we're talking about football, now you know, who can tell me who was the first black footballer playing for England? Come on, tell me who. Who? Come on, give me some names. Come on. I know there's someone before. Come on, tell me a black footballer that played for England.
First black footballer, and they gave us ones that were in the last probably 10 years, but they didn't remember the ones from going back to
as well.
That shirt there.
Yeah.
Your debut.
Yeah.
Your first black player to play for England.
Yeah.
Do you still reflect on that often?
I think taxi drivers reflect on it more than me, because every time I go to London they go, I saw your debut, I remember your debut, so it happens more times than I can clear to imagine. But yes, it was a great time, and I always remember being in a room with Laurie Cunningham. We shared a room in Sofia in Bulgaria, and there was obviously this talk, because he was the first full black under-21 international. And there's always talk, is Laurie going to be the first, is Viv going to be the first? And you think we'd be in that room and we'd be talking about, is it going to be you, is it going to be me? So we never talked about it, but luckily enough it was me that managed to be first, and I'm very pleased, very privileged and very honoured.
When you see English players now, and you look at the England team that's diverse, it's full of people from different backgrounds, does it make you feel proud that you've paved the way and now the team's how it is? I don't look at it as I've paved the way. I just played my part. You know, I just happened to be there at the right place at the right time. You can talk about that shirt, but you talk about a lad called Jack Leslie, who in 1923 was called up for England. I found this out in the lockdown. Somebody rang me from the Times, said, I want to do an article on Jack Leslie. And I said, Jack Leslie? I've never heard of Jack Leslie. Said he would have been the first black player to play for England. Scored loads of goals for Plymouth Argyle. See, you don't know who Jack Leslie is. He just got a statue, did he?
That's right. It's only because you know, because it was on the telly. Well, exactly right. He scored a hatful of goals for Plymouth Argyle, right down in Plymouth. So with a name like Jack Leslie, you think he's white. So the FA called him up
then realised he was black. When they found out he was black, took him off the squad and didn't even turn up with the rest of the players. So they cancelled it. So he would have been the first black player to play for England. And I went, I'd never heard of him. So I think history should be telling people these stories. You know, they need to know. Here's me, got the first black shirt, but there was somebody before me who could quite easily have been it. And you should have known this. Kids should know these and taught in schools about things like that. I think it's really important.
I think today of all days, I know it's important to talk about Windrush.
Exactly, absolutely key. And like I said, it's acknowledging all elements of the Windrush generation, the contribution, not just to England and rebuilding of the country and so forth, but looking at the other elements in terms of economics, science,
yes,
sports. I mean, it's endless. It's endless. So we have the platform to do what we do, and that's how we do what we do. So together as Blackstory Partnership Collective, we just have a great network. We're able to connect with the Aston Foundation through courtesy of Neil DeCosta, which enabled this to happen. So Neil's got a great team, and Ian is he's absolutely brilliant. He's pulled the whole structure of the tournament together, which was great. And we've just come here to make sure it is what it is. And I think it's a great day. I believe that this has exceeded all of our expectations.
Do your research. There is so many. You had your John Barnes, you had your Paul Ince, you had an immense amount of black footballers that played for England. Some of them was able to come here and train and go and play for their own countries. When you talk about athletics, when you talk about music as well, we have contributed a hell of a lot, and it's before 1948.
So is there any future plans to continue this?
Well, hopefully if it goes well today, which it seems to be going well, hopefully we can do it again.
You know, as a foundation, we're always looking to collaborate with different organisations, no matter what the cause. You know, it's something we always love to do, and we have done, and we'll continue to do so. Yeah, definitely.